Thank you, thank you. Warren York on the mighty Wurlitzer. I hope that Warren is within the sound of my voice, or that his friends will tell him that he adds so much to the festival every year with his musical interludes, his introductions. Puts us in the spirit. I was just talking to Jeff Poor, one of our sponsors, out in front of the theater, and he said that closing day, the last performance, is always kind of sad for him. And so we decided just to continue this festival indefinitely. 5 o'clock show tonight. No. This has been our most successful festival ever. We've had many sellouts. I think this house is just about as full as it can get. You see some empty seats over there. But you know, I don't even know why you're sitting there, because can you see past these speakers? You might want to move in a little bit. That's not a real good sight line, but I knew on Thursday at the first show, the Stone Reader, when I looked out into the auditorium and saw an enormous crowd, because, you know, Thursday at 1 o'clock is not everybody can go to the movies then, although you young people, be sure to get a job that allows you to go to the movies anytime you want to. And I knew we were off to a roaring start. Is Dan Perino around? I want him to stand up. Are you here? One of my inspirations at Urbana High School, and then of course he went to the University of Illinois and is one of the best known and most beloved people in Champaign-Urbana. Dan and Marge are dear friends, and it's great that he's here for Singing in the Rain, but of course, being the kind of guy he was here for everything. So, in 1976 or 1977, a young journalist from Chicago went to the Cannes Film Festival for the first time and was utterly baffled by, in fact, I'll tell you the story. I didn't have any reservations. You know, I usually when I go to Europe, you get the Arthur Fromer book, Europe on $5 a day, and you know, so I went to the Carlton Hotel and asked if they had a room, and the French, they laughed at me. Not only had they not had a room for years, because everybody books the same room every year, but it would have taken more than the price of the room to get the room during the festival. I finally found a place, and the Hotel Terminus. And we now go to the Hotel Splendide. I think that will be the title of my autobiography, From the Terminus to the Splendide. So wandering around on the terrace of the Carlton Hotel one day, I was summoned over by a guy with a beard and a cowboy hat and a fresh-faced brunette sitting next to him, and it was Dusty and Joan Cole, who from Toronto, Canada. And don't applaud yet, save your applause. How had they found the Cannes Film Festival? They were as naive as I was the first time they went there. They were driving down the Riviera on vacation, didn't know there was a film festival. Found a parking place in front of the Hotel Carlton, which is impossible to do. And Dusty said to Joan, why don't we have a film festival in Toronto? And so they went back to Toronto and started one. It is now the most important film festival in North America and the third probably ranked in the world. And Dusty and Joan became lifelong friends. And Chaz and I go on Dusty's floating film festival at sea. It's perfect because I love ships and I hate the sun. So you get on a cruise ship and see 3 movies a day. What could be better than that? And Dusty and Joan have been coming to the Overlook Film Festival and making friends. And I just want to acknowledge them. If they're way there in the back, but if you could stand up. as he is known, Monsieur Dusty. Well, for some reason, it has become a tradition for us to end the festival with a musical. This is a good, whatever the reason was, it was excellent. And for the 5th anniversary of the Overlooked Film Festival, or as one of the volunteers from the Virginia just called it, the Overbooked Film Festival, what better film than the greatest movie musical ever made, Singin' in the Rain? Now there will be those who argue that it cannot be overlooked if it is the greatest movie musical of all time, and number 4 on the Sight and Sound International poll taken every 10 years of the greatest films ever made. But of course, as I never tire of explaining, we have a definition that will cover any film. We can make your film overlooked. And so it falls under the heading of the musical is an overlooked genre. Now there will be those who say that since a musical won the Oscar this year, so I have to say, musicals in which the stars really can sing and dance is an overlooked genre. Except for Catherine Zeta-Jones, who can sing and dance. But I remember once at the Montreal Film Festival, the great enemy and rival of the Toronto Film Festival, they had the premiere of Stayin' Alive, which was the sequel to Saturday Night Fever. And there was a dance scene in the disco where they had dry ice floating in so you couldn't see the feet. And who was there but Ginger Rogers, a great lady. She was the guest of honor for the festival. She sent back the limousine they sent to the airport for her. She sent it back. It didn't match her luggage. And she once was said, who was a better dancer, you or Fred? And she said, well, I did everything he did, but backwards and wearing heels. So after Stayin' Alive, I said to her, Miss Rogers, what did you think? The young people these days, they think they can dance with their faces. Well, in Singin' in the Rain, they dance with their feet. And it is such an honor for us to have Donald O'Connor here in person. He is... That's okay, he can't hear you. He's not here. Is he here? Oh, he is? Whoa! And by the way, everyone in the balcony was standing too. I didn't know you had come in. I'm sorry. When I came backstage, you hadn't arrived yet. You've probably seen the movie before. But not like this, because we have a newly restored 35 millimeter print of the 50th anniversary edition of Singin' in the Rain. And this movie makes me happy. It is made with joy. You can see that the people on the screen love every moment of what they're doing. It involves a lot of hard work, a lot of physical endeavor, endless rehearsal, enormous skills, but they love the work. And it's a film of youth. The director was only 28 when he made it, Stanley Donen. And Debbie Reynolds was still a teenager. It was her first starring role. I saw this movie for the first time at the late Clark Theater in Chicago, where they had a different double feature every day, with a little program that had a little couplet to describe every film. Sled is the bane of Citizen Kane. And, it's a film that is about film. It's about the transition from silent films to talking pictures, and since we had 3 silent programs this year, that made it very appropriate. And the funny thing is, at the time, it wasn't the prestige MGM musical. That was American in Paris, which won the Academy Award as the Best Picture of the Year. And Singin' in the Rain only has one original song in it, Moses Supposes. All the rest are songs that have been used in previous musicals or already existed. I believe, Bertrand Tavernier could correct me, but that this is the 4th movie in which Singin' in the Rain was a song. And Comden and Green, the great team of Broadway and Hollywood playwrights and screenwriters, were hired to kind of put it together, and they were given a list of songs to use, and the result is movie history, is movie magic. And I'll tell you, the Make 'Em Laugh sequence with Donald O'Connor is I think, you know, when they shot that rocket into the void, the one that had the Beatles songs and the line drawings and you remember that when they sent the Voyager, yes, a message to other planets, right? Or to other solar systems. 10 billion years from now, they'll get it and they'll be wondering who Eleanor Rigby was, you know. And it seemed to me that one of the things they should have had on the Voyager was the Make 'Em Laugh sequence. And they would think, the Earthlings, they were very agile. So I've really talked long enough, but I just want to thank you all for being here, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful 5 days for myself, my wife Chaz, and all of us. We feel like a family, and we'll get together for the reunion about a year from now. So I just can't tell you. Whenever I list the greatest films of all time, Singin' in the Rain is always right there at the top of my list. I love this movie. I don't get tired of watching it over and over again. It's like a record album. You can listen to it forever and watch it forever. Some movies, once is too much. This movie is forever. Singin' in the Rain.